I recently adopted this dreadnought from a local animal shelter. They were gonna put him down because he's in Legends now. No one was really playing with him before that anyways. I broke him several times by accident during the process of kit bashing him, and he didn't fight back at all, which is a sign of a history of trauma and emotional abuse. This is just a sad reality of many dreadnoughts and, less importantly, dogs that are put into kill shelters nationwide. This whole warband consists of models like that. A bunch of fucked up little freaks that were just waiting to be euthanized. Now, they revere me as a god and have no choice in the matter. They are only allowed to feel what I want them to feel, and when people see me with them in public, they pat me on the back and call me a hero. I don't know where any of this is going. I just started talking to the mic without a plan. Hey everyone, it's the Brothers of Prometheum narrative event video. None of that meant anything, and I'm gonna end the cold open now. The Brothers of Prometheum was a narrative event I went to in Connecticut recently. I don't know if they want me to dox them, so I won't go further than that, but Connecticut is famously kind of the miniatures capital of the world, and that's because it's home of the Hive Scum podcast, the world's largest miniature manufacturer. Hive Scum is actually the parent company of Games Workshop and acquired them after former GW CEO Tom Kirby lost the game of Munchkin 40,000 to them in 2014. This is also what led to the inception of Age of Sigmar, and the launch week was partially orchestrated by every member of the Hive Scum podcast. Narratively, I wanted my warband to consist of a bunch of different guys who like tinkering with cars, basically. I like it when Warhammer feels like Star Trek and all the different factions who are unlikely to work together get to do so. The narrative of the campaign is basically everyone stuck on this like Mad Max style planet that's shrouded by warp storms and there's no way out, etc. So a lot of factions that are unlikely to work together get to do so, which means I get to take everyone that's been sitting in a big box of this model's cool but I don't know what to do with it and finally build and paint them. There's a tech priest who's obsessed with orc technology. There's a big guy who rides around on a big pig. This guy's named Fight Zing Mech Queen. He rides around in the Stolen Wave Serpent and is basically an orc pod racer. This guy's even don't have a name. No one even knows where he's from. He's just a frog mechanic. I felt myself wanting to pick up the Wave Serpent periodically and make little like zooming noises with it, which is not a feeling I get with Warhammer super often these days. A side effect of playing in tournaments a lot is you start to just see them as math and you don't really value them as models, at least like I don't. I see a battle wagon, I see T12, 16 wounds, it's got a 3-up save, an armor of contempt, it's 160 points, etc. This guy's just a pod racer. I didn't even look up the rules of Grimdark Future, the rule set they used, until like I got there basically, and that was very freeing. It's a nice change of pace. I know like in my heart, as much as I want to just be a narrative boy forever, I do like numbers and crunch and trying to win a little bit sometimes, but I also love models and narrative and things that are really easy to lose track of the value of, the true value of, when you're like just playing in tournaments and playing games to win and building models that you like because you like the rules, not necessarily because they're your favorite guys in the world. Sometimes it's cool to just kit bash a bunch of stuff to remind you of Dope Smoker by Sleep. And I know this probably sounds really obvious to anyone who is just like purely a narrative gamer, but even if you're not playing in tournaments, even if you're playing lists that are kind of unoptimized, I do feel like if you play a lot of games, it's hard not to just see the numbers first, and the mechanics of a lot of games encourage you to do that. For games like Magic, this is fine because they're cards and you just see the numbers on the cards, and it's more about what's happening in the game as a game rather than like just their value as art pieces. The art in Magic is very cool, but it's usually like a secondary bonus thing as like opposed to the reason most people play the game. And also like numbers and mechanics are fun, right? Like it's cool to do like weird combo stacking, but I don't want that to take away from how cool the just like aesthetic components of these miniatures as sculptures can be. So doing this project was really cool in that like I got to focus purely on, do I like how these guys look and who are they and like what's their background, and think about that as like the forefront, which is an exercise I'd like to continue doing sometimes in the future. I like my cool toys, and I don't like it when I devalue them because they went up 15 points in the latest data slate or whatever. I will use this guy as a beast boss and Squigosaur in the future. I'll use him in Warhammer, but he will now always be a big mech on a cool pig that I kit bash because I thought it would be sick first, and whatever the rules are for a beast boss and Squigosaur second. I'm a bad influencer, and I mostly went just to hang out with people I thought were cool that I met at Adepticon and took like almost no photos or videos during the whole thing. Oops. A lot of other people have made content from the event or continuing to make content. Between the Bolter and me, who has my favorite name out of any tabletop game site I've ever seen, did a really good write-up on it. Here's some people who I can remember who were there off the top of my head that might be making stuff. I don't actually know. Maybe we were all just here to play games and eat barbecue. I don't think any of them have posted anything yet, but if you're interested in narrative gaming and want to learn more about the event, at least one of them will probably post something eventually. Hive Scum also has released, I think, a couple at this point, like podcast interviews about the event. It's audio only, so I don't feel like it really does it justice, but I was interviewed on that. I'll put a link in the description. The boards they made and like the amount of effort that went into this event is insane though. They're just like like 6 or 7 dudes in rural New England, and they did a better job than any event organizer I've ever seen. I would like to take this opportunity to encourage you all to run cool narrative campaigns with your friends and also invest thousands of dollars in awesome overhanging red light. I love cool lights. Look at the fucking smoke, dude. So sick. Never mind the board itself, just like all the atmosphere was insane too. It added a lot of value. Terrain building I feel like is an art form that within the miniature community, outside of like people making videos online, is something I don't see as much emphasis on, and I want to share this with the world too because I think it deserves a spotlight. If I didn't live in a 12 square foot box in Los Angeles, I would be making awesome big terrain as well. Also, sorry I've been slacking on videos. I started the new job recently, which is cool, but it takes up a lot of time, and I want to get back on the grind soon now that I'm getting a little more settled in it. So yeah, there'll be more content. I have like 3 videos that are like partially edited, and I'll see you around soon, hopefully. Okay, bye. Thank you.